Hello all, thanks for joining. I want to spend a few minutes and share some photos that I took of the Silvertone 4569 cabinet refinish. If you've been following the series, I've got the veneer on the radio now, and a couple weeks back I was able to get the center section redone. So let me just show you a couple photos of where I'm at this point in time with the restoration. Here's the first look at the cabinet. I applied various shades of toner lacquers as well as clear gloss. And again, I'll knock some of that gloss off after this thing sets up for a week or two. In the last video, I showed a couple photos of the inlay section in the center. I was not pleased with that, so I took time to remove that, start all over. Again, the technique was to use wax fill sticks and brush tip graining markers. What you see here on the center inlay was hand drawn. Again, the veneer itself was cut to 45-degree angles. In addition to redoing that center inlay piece, I also spent time and replaced the piece of veneer you see here on the bottom left side. Unfortunately, I had some bubbling of the veneer that appeared to be a result of the substrate material. So again, additional time was spent removing that, replacing that with new veneer, doing the cut, the blending, and the retoning. Here's a view of the right side of the cabinet, and as we take a minute here to zoom in, you'll see that I used the brush tip graining markers again to create the grain line in the vertical position, and again that helps along with the toners to cover up where the two veneers meet. Actually, if you look at this photo, you cannot even see where the two veneers meet, so I'm actually very pleased with the outcome. And then the same holds true for the left side. Some additional photos here around the speaker cutout area. Looking at that speaker cloth also, I mentioned I didn't know if I was going to be able to save or replace it. I think I'm going to be able to reverse the speaker cloth and reuse it. Or at least I'm hoping so. I've been looking for a nice match, and so far I haven't really found what I'm looking for. So I think when I put this back together, get the speaker grill cloth in, I'll actually reverse it, see what it looks like. I think it's going to show its age, but again, this radio's back from the mid-30s, so I don't care if it looks a little rustic or vintage. That would be perfect in my mind. Here's a right side top-down view, as well a closer look here at the top of the radio. Again, you're going to see a lot of reflections in these pictures. I'm using, again, gloss, and I haven't knocked the sheen off yet, which I will, because I don't want the radio to be quite this glossy. What I'm hoping for is more of a semi-gloss, or just under a semi-gloss when I'm done. Here's a quick look at the right side of the radio. You'll notice that horizontal groove where the two pieces of wood meet. I've yet to decide if I'm going to put black or dark brown actually in that groove. I've looked very, very close at my detailed pictures from my original finish of the radio, or what I believe to be the original finish, and I really can't tell if any black was used there like I used in the center inlay pieces as well as around the speaker grill cutout area. If I decide to do so, it's a very, very easy fix. I'll apply that inside the inlay, then shoot it with some lacquer, and I'll be done. As I mentioned earlier, I'm extremely pleased with the way the two veneers came together. Again, the techniques, I stained the new piece of veneer to make it closely match the existing veneer, used wax fill sticks, the brush tip graining markers, the toner lacquers, and I have to look very, very hard and use my imagination to actually see the actual lines of where the two veneers come together. I tell you, I'm extremely pleased with the way the cabinet turned out on the Silvertone 4569. As I mentioned earlier, I still have some work to do, very, very minor. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks or so, as the lacquer cures, again I'll be able to knock down some of the sheen, apply some paste wax when the lacquer cures, get everything back together, and I'll publish one final video of the radio actually playing, and maybe under some better lighting conditions where we can really kind of marvel and take in the beauty of this cabinet on this Silvertone 4569. Again, I appreciate you folks joining, watching the video, and thanks again for all my new subscribers out there as well.